Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, get notifications, and most definitely smash that like button. Comments are always appreciated. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, El Cheapo Deluxe here. How you all doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm having a good day myself. Thanks for asking. But listen, a couple weeks ago I was at the shooting range putting some rounds through my Canik Mc9, and I started having a few issues, and I kind of want to talk about those issues I was having. First issue I was having was a return to battery issue. 5 or 6 times it just wouldn't return the battery. When I say not returning the battery, let me show you what I mean. Here's my Canik Mc9. Just want to show you it is empty. Nothing in the chamber, nothing in the magazine, so we're all clear. Safety first. So when I'm talking about returning the battery, I mean, when it goes to chamber the next round, it just stops right there and doesn't fully chamber the next round, so you kind of have to bump it to get it fully chambered, and then you're ready to go. But the other issue I was having was some light strikes. The striker and the pin was hitting the primer, it just wasn't going off, so I couldn't figure out why. So when I got home, I was going to take it apart and figure it out, and by golly, I figured it out. And I know a lot of you, when you first got your MC9s, there was an issue with not returning the battery, and that issue had to do with like this polymer not being even with these slide rails. So a lot of people were filing this down and making it even, and actually I did that myself, not because I had the issue, just because it was a little bit above it, and just wanted to make sure I didn't have the issue. So what I did was I took it apart and I started looking at it, because I had cleaned the gun, probably about a week before I went to the range. And this is a product I used. It's like a foaming gun cleaner. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use it because what it does, and I actually got some down inside the slide where you really shouldn't get any around the pin and everything. And what it does is it gets down there, it just doesn't evaporate. You can't get it wiped out without completely taking apart the gun, so I wouldn't even get it down in there. Wouldn't use it. That's why they say don't oil in that area, and they say don't oil in that area. Don't oil in that area. So what I had to do, and I'm going to show you what I did. Let me get this out of the way and this out of the way. Let me grab a little punch here. That one isn't going to work. Let me use this here. Needed to take the first thing I did was take the striker and firing pin assembly out. You can do that. Just make sure you hold your finger over that and pull that out. That's your striker and your firing pin here. And I'm not going to take it all the way apart, but what you do is you pull this down here like this. You got these little keepers that fit down inside this spring, and they'll come out, and you can pull that out and clean it real good. But I took it apart and I cleaned it real good. It was pretty gunked up from getting that oil in there. That oil in that foam cleaner that just you can't wipe out. So set that aside for a minute. The next thing I did was I was looking at the ejector. So I thought, man, I better take that ejector out. So let me show you how to do that. Get your little punch here, and you got this little button. Just push that down, and it's going to stay locked down for a minute or two until you release it. What you want to do is you want to pull so what you want to do is you want to put it down, and then you can actually pull this ejector out, or that out. You got that spring that comes out with it, and then you want to take this out right there. This is actually your ejector right here. So if you look at that, it's got this little hook here, and that's what actually grabs hold of your round and ejects it. What had happened is that got so gunked up, that was filled up with just gunpowder and stuff, and it will on its own anyway, but and especially if you get that stuff in there. So what I did is I had to clean that out real well. So you got that all over there. Just cleaned it out real well. So this part you can put a little dab of oil on, but not much. So just get that nice and clean. You can put a little drop of oil back on there. I wouldn't put too much, but let me see. Find my oil here. All right. So just a little dab of oil on it, not much. And I'm just going to put it right here. Just kind of move it around with your finger, just a little bit. Not trying to make this a long video, but I want to go slow enough you can see what I'm doing. So anyway, with that being said, I got that all cleaned up. This spring is for this. This is a spring that sits down in here. A little thing you punched first. I don't know what these parts are called. This, you want to make sure it's kind of clean too. So, yeah, see it had some gunk on it too. This you don't want to get any oil on, I don't think. Just get it clean so it moves in and out. You can take a Q-tip. Get you a Q-tip and run down in there. Yeah, see, it's coming out pretty gunky. Yeah, it is pretty dirty still. So yeah, just get it nice and clean. All right. You go put it back together. Put that piece in there. Those little spring. It's smaller on one end than the other. I don't know that it matters which goes in where, to tell you the truth. But anyway, okay. So you want to put your ejector back in there. You're going to have to push this pin back down once you get this in there. And that spring sits right down inside this little circle here. So this takes a little practice, and I haven't got a whole lot of practice, but I'm going to show you. Just like that. Well, that piece didn't go back in there all the way, so ejector back out again. So that piece you want to put in there. Oh. Yeah, when you got butter fingers like me, makes it tough to do this anyway. So tell you what does help is having that red dot on there. Kind of helps hold it up at an angle so you can see. Look, I'm gonna make a fool out of myself putting this back together, and I really know how to do it. If I had 3 hands, it wouldn't be so bad. There we go. I knew I would get it. And I knew you knew I would. So anyway, those are all good and clean. The next thing to do is put your pin back in there. That's easy. It slides right back in, just like that. Push that down. Slide your back plate over it just enough to hold it. Just like that. And there you go. It's all back together. Should be nice and clean. I still need to clean this from last time I went to the range, but I'm not going to do it right now. You all know how to clean a gun. I just wanted to show you that little issue. And hope you didn't get frustrated watching me. I got frustrated doing this. That's it, all back together. Still empty. Nothing in the chamber. Pointed away from you and fired safely. That's it. Back together. Hopefully no more issues with that. By the way, if you like my little bottom plate for my magazine there, you can get that from Hurley Welding. Got another video on that, check it out. Well, there you have it, folks. I got it back together and it's in working order. So, you know, if you're having the same issues with light strikes and not returning the battery, check your slide rails. Let's make sure that polymer's even with that. If that's not it, you don't see anything else obvious, look at that ejector and see if it's dirty. If it is, take it apart, clean it, put it back together. I'm sure there's some videos out there that show you a little bit better than I could how to take it apart and put it back together, because I was getting frustrated there. I got the butterfingers, and I need a third hand sometimes. But anyway, we got it back together. It's in working order. And hey, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you. All right, be safe.